Okie doke. So, was Boots' criticism fair? So, recently Boots had to fight at home versus Karen in Philly. Um, there's been a lot of different people reacting to it, a lot of different people giving their thoughts on it. We saw what Brian Norman Sr. did on different shows and podcasts and on social media. But my thing is, if people are saying Boots is easy money, if he's food, it shouldn't be hard for him to make fights anymore. We should be able to get Boots versus Virgil Ortiz and Boots versus Brian Norman Sr. Or excuse me, Brian Norman Jr. I think I say Brian Norman Sr. because I see him do more talking than Brian Norman Jr. But I talked to Dez, who helps me co-host this show sometimes when we go live, and Dez said he thinks it's a bunch of BS because if Brian Norman was really serious about it, they would have gotten a ring for less money, especially since most of their fights was for less money. And his whole argument was, if I'm gonna have this fight, it's got to be worth this much money. MJ, however, said he was not impressed with Boots. He didn't like Boots' defense. He didn't like the way Boots was fainting and some of the things he was doing. The first Karen fight, Boots used his boxing skills. I think what it is Boots was trying so hard to get him out of there at home in front of his hometown fans, and it ended up being a little costly. Now let's not get it twisted. Boots got dropped. Boots dropped Karen. So y'all now everybody gonna get me because I said Boots got dropped, but y'all know what I mean. I messed up. Boots dropped Karen in the fifth round, and I think once he dropped him, he was trying so hard to get him out of there that his defense was lacking in some of the rounds, and they got lazy. But as I said earlier, when I made the video about Zepeda and Tevin Farmer, Zepeda may be a total different fighter against Shakur. Boots may be a total different fighter against Virgil or Brian Norman Sr. because it's a bigger fight. He's fighting this guy twice. He didn't really want to fight him. It was talks of him maybe even vacating, going to 154. We saw Eddie joke with him, saying if you lose to this guy, I'll never talk to you again, because it has something to do with Oscar De La Hoya. But to me, let's see what Boots does when he gets in the ring with these guys. And this goes back to the main damn point. We're always going back and forth about what's going to happen to this dude or that dude because he fought this dude or that dude, rather than them two dudes just fighting. And that is the constant cycle that drives me crazy with the state of boxing these days. Is we got a couple good fights in 2022 where we had Tank and Ryan, and there was a couple more fights where okay, everybody's fighting each other. 2023 was all right, and then 2024 comes around, and outside of Usyk and Fury, here comes the BS again. We all know when we do fights of the year at the end of this year, we all know Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney is going to be in it because of the big controversy. That was crazy. People still talking about it. But styles make fights. I'm not going to judge Boots based on this. I obviously know what he was trying to do. And I think each fighter will fight differently based on his opponent or what he thinks he can do. And let's get Boots versus, Barrios in the ring. Let's get Boots versus Norman Jr. in the ring. And then Boots versus Stanionis. Let's get those fights. And let's see how Boots performs. And then if he goes to 154 and fights Virgil, we got something rolling here. But until then, I'm going to hold my judgment. A lot of people weren't impressed, but a lot of times when you fight a guy 2 times in a row, you either going to be doing too much or you might not be taking it as serious. So, y'all let me know what y'all think. Boots, was the criticism fair or was it, out of control? I'm out.